You hold the fate of a single man in your hands. You follow his life from birth to death. Your choices shall define who Sir Brante will grow up to be. You will decide his personality, his social status, and what mark he'll leave on the country, on history. Uh, with every step he takes at your behest, Sir Branton's character will change and evolve. Your decisions will close some doors for him, but open many others. Am I supposed to click? I was supposed to click. The world of Sir Branton's birth is a ruthless realm where people are divided into estates. It is hard to be a hero here. Be ready to accept that Sir Brante cannot overcome every challenge in his path. Every hard choice will test his character and personal qualities. Often you will not be able to make the choice you would like to. It may happen because you chose a different road earlier, exhausted your hero's willpower, or haven't earned the right position in society. Every victory will be a struggle, a path paved with bitter losses and gut-wrenching failures. Accept the tragedy. I can't pronounce shit, my dog. This is how you will create a gripping and unique tale for your hero. What will become of Sir Brante, his loved ones, and his world? It all depends on you. Or is there more reading to do? Oh no, we're getting into it. Noise.
The story of my life remains written on these pages. My fate has always been my own. Every deed, every choice, and every person I met made me what I am. Could I have really taken a different path? Found a different calling? Altered the very course of history? And what price would I have to pay?
The life and suffering of Sir Brante. In the times of the fall of the blessed. Okay, I love. Chapter 1. At the end of time, your fingers are stained with ink, your breathing grows ragged, your hands are shaking. Yet the words begin appearing on the page before you one by one, clinging together to form a chronicle of your own life. Who are you? How did you reach this end? You were born, raised, and lived your entire life in the blessed Arkanian Empire. In this land, a man's destiny is predetermined at the moment of his birth, where the human or Arkanian, nobleman, priest, or low-born commoner all bend to the divine will of the twin gods. And each life is not but a single cog in the universe's immeasurable machine. The memories come flooding back. They engulf you as a merciless wave, binding together days that are thrice dead and gone. The dreams of your childhood, your adolescence, your youth spent in the capital, years of peace teeming with life and a war drenched in blood, high ranks and low deeds, opulent places, secretive city backstreets, fields of battle and faces, so many faces of the people you held dear. The people who walked this road by your side. Such was your life, now all exposed by ink erupting onto the page. With your every step, you sought to change the world as you saw fit. The choices of your upbringing, the path you carved in your youth, the fruits of your struggle, the consequences of your sacrifice, all of it led you here, to the end of your time. And every choice had a price. Now, years and years later, the crossroads of your life echoed memory, the pain and joy inexcusably intermingled. Could you have taken a different path, chosen a different color, found a different place in the world? You had the power to alter the very course of history. Now on the verge of death, you struggle with doubt, seeking answers to the last and most crucial of all questions. Your life. Of all the lives, all the paths in life, why did you walk this one? Did you choose your own fate? Or was your life shaped by forces beyond your control? What determines a man's destiny? The man himself? Your life has always been yours to live. You made your own destiny. The world around him. Your path was charted for you by the people, the age, and the society in which you lived. A higher power. Your destiny was forged by a power greater than your own will. There is no destiny. Destiny does not exist. Human life is an exercise in chance. It's not governed by laws. You know what? Let's try to be the optimist here, right? Let's try to be the optimist here, right? Let's choose the man himself chooses his own destiny. You can hear death's footsteps drawing near. You square your shoulders, take a deep, full breath. You found your final answer. What is destiny other than a long chain of your own actions and decisions? No matter what happened in your life, you always had a choice. You lived the life you deserved. Only you can answer for it. Were you right about this? Is it all true? To learn the truth, you will have to return to the very beginning, remembering every step you took along the way. On these pages, the story of a man named Matt Brante will live once more. New childhood. So it looks like we got 5 chapters, and this demo has chapters 1 and 2. I assume these are the chapters. Unless it's like chapter 1 and 2 is here, and it goes all the way to like chapter 10 for each one or something. I don't know, we'll find out. Chapter 1 childhood, so I was right. Chapter 1 childhood. Year is 1118. 1118. Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. You are but a small child learning about the world in which you were born. To you, everything is so new, so baffling, so unforgiving. A long, trying life stretches before you. So many feats and faults, so many fateful choices to come. Yet you are already sowing the seeds of your future self. You are learning to live, survive in this world, looking for a place within it to call your own, choosing your future destiny. Who will you grow up to be? Prologue, growing up. In the chapters childhood, adolescence, and youth, you will live through your hero's coming of age. You will shape the protagonist's personality, his qualities, and his relationships. By the end of the prologue, you will determine the state and future occupation of your hero. Only in adulthood will he start to influence the world around him, even the ultimate fate of the Empire. Okay. Who will Matt Brante grow up to be? It's your call. Who will you grow up to be? Events of the personal life of the hero that can happen in this chapter. Fencing lessons. You dare to study fencing like your father, even though you have no right to it by birth. Okay. Beyond. A small child yourself for your first death and rebirth. Ooh. You experience an insight when your mother tells you about the ways of the world and that lots of its inhabitants. You challenge the sacred order and attempt to seize a noble lot. That's I don't know about you. I love a dark story, so I like these ones, cause that's also yeah. All right. Your personal qualities at this age, they will determine which choices you make. Can I? No. Okay. A determination, your perseverance and strength of character, your ability to get your way. It affects your frame of mind and the skills you have when you grow up. So, spineless, active, resolute, adamant. Perception represents how attentive you are to other people and the world around you, your ability to comprehend and learn. It affects your frame of mind and the skills you have. It's just the same like last line. So it's the ability to comprehend and learn. So inattentive, curious, inquisitive, insightful. Your inner strength and the number of lesser deaths that you have experienced. These qualities will stay with you for your entire life. So willpower. Exhausted, ready for action, full of power, prepared for anything. You're remaining in strength and readiness for action. I'm assuming these are like action points that you get to spend when you do stuff. You spend on difficult choices. There you go. Deaths. After suffering a lesser death, one is reborn. One who dies a true death faces the judgment of the twin gods. Ooh, okay. So it's untouched by death, died once, died twice, died thrice, and then true death. So basically you could die 4 times? It looks like. You could die and be reborn 4 times until you meet until you meet the judgment of the twin gods. Okay. So the sections that open in this chapter. Destiny screen is not available. Personality screen. Okay, so Destiny, back, personality. Me, lowborn. Yeah, there's our deaths and stuff. Alright, this is looking pretty good. House of Brante. That's a nice crest. Reputation tarnished, honor. That's glorious house. The honor of your family, position in high society. In high society, affects how nobility treats your family. The financial state of your family, the level of your income and possessions were at moderate means. And then unity represents how close and trusting your family is. It affects the fate of your family members. So hatred, quarrels and feuds, disagreements, peace. We're at peace. We could be at harmony. Or disagreements. And the heir is my brother, Stefan Brante. Brante? I don't know. From a young age, he has been striving to be the first in all things and demonstrating his superiority to the family. Okay. Is that the family? No. Okay. Okay, so my father was married to this person, had a brother, so he's my half-brother technically. And now this one. That's my sister. So then is my sister from her previous marriage? Because then would it stem off from that? So I guess I have no full siblings. And Gregor Brante. Indifferent. Nobleman of the Mantle, head of the Brante family, and nobleman of the Mantle, senior judge at the prefecture. He was the first in the family to get an education, receive a noble title. His dream is to see his family ennobled by the sword. A cruel and fierce defender of the ancient order, he is constantly preoccupied with arranging the future of his family line. True death. Your father's wife passed away soon after giving birth to Stefan, never to be reborn. So then, can you be reborn? Like, is that just a thing? Like, you can be reborn a certain amount of times? And was she just not reborn? Or did she already die her deaths? I give birth to him. She was a noblewoman of the sword and sister. Powerful friend. The match between her and your father was your grandfather's doing. Amelia is said to have been a striking woman with a fierce personality who was proud of her noble origins. What about Robert? So people are indifferent to her. They don't really like the grandfather. Sympathy towards him, I guess, because the wife died or something. Noble and a judge, following the footsteps of his father, he earned a noble title and a position in the prefecture. He works tirelessly in his judicial services for the sake of his family. He took your low-born mother, Lydia, as his second wife, thereby jeopardizing his family's noble future. Sympathy, humble commoner on the outskirts, neither her lowly origins nor the fact that your grandfather directly forbade the marriage. Wait, is he still alive? Goddamn, he's still alive, okay. Okay, she now manages the household and raises Robert's children. Mother's devoted to her faith, and sister children observe the lots. My sister, legitimate daughter, never met the real father. Her position in the family is precarious. Robert never acknowledged her as his own daughter. His sister's a dreamer. She often has her head in the clouds and can act recklessly at times. And me, I guess that's just that. Where is this one? I'm not done reading. Robert Brante's son from his first marriage and a noble by birth. From a young age, he's been striving to be first. Yeah, blah blah blah. Okay. Begin the chapter. Let's go. Let's get it. At first there's nothing. No time, no sensation. Nothing but darkness and void. But then a will breathed breath live into nothingness. Matter and spirit were set in motion. History began its march. It was your turn to enter this world. Your first memory, you are lying on your back, blinded by a bright white light. You are not alone. Above you tower the colossal figures of those who created you. You are a part of them, and they are a part of you. Between you and them is an inexplicable connection, a strong, unbreakable link. They will always watch over you, guard you, or protect you. Now, is that the twin gods, or is that my parents? It hurts to breathe. You let out the pain in the form of a desperate scream. Your creators extend their hand towards you. There's two of them. The ones who made your form from their own selves and brought you into this world. They are united, yet as they lean closer to you, you begin to see how different they are. You can already feel the differences within you, struggling against each other. First figure is soft and pathetic, wise and merciful. The love that emanates from you, that love that emanates from it, wraps you head to toe like an invisible blanket. The warmth from it is never ending. The second figure is strong, powerful, commanding, and noble. It is harsh but fair, a beacon of guidance, a force of protection and merciless punishment for every misdeed. Yet, there is also a third figure. It is like a shadow barely seen between them. Ready? Yet already pulsing with an unbreakable will to live. It is the very will to live that is now growing ever stronger within you. Soft, open palm, strong closed fists, a lingering distant shadow. You struggle to loosen the swaddling clothes wrapped around you and extend a tiny hand into the world. Okay, so perception, if you reach out to the palm, determination, reaching out from the fist, 10 willpower. That's my stuff over here. Personality. Okay, so I could get willpower from that. Personality, or perception, or determination. Let's do perception. Reach out to the palm. Your little palm awkwardly clasps the soft finger. You explore your mother's hands by touch. Yeah, it is the mother then. Even father. She smiles gently as her arms wrap around you and lift you up. The smell of home, that indescribable smell, that feeling of safety that is second to none. God damn, this be hitting home. Her embrace is the warmest place in the world. A place you want to stay for all eternity. Year 1118. Your life in this world begins. How will you live it? $11.19. 1 year. Hide and seek. As the days goes by, you learn to tell your parents apart. You recognize father by his heavy breath and strong cold hands. He visits you rarely. Hello there, little Matt Brante. Mother's tender voice, however, follows you day and night. My, you're growing so quickly, my child. There are two more children of the family named Stefan and Gloria. Gloria sings songs to you. She often dresses you in tight clothing, gently holds your hands as you learn to take your first steps. Stefan likes to sweep you up and pinch you and toss you into the air. Oh look, this is your brother and sister. Yeah, you're my little brother. We're gonna play together, but I'll always be in charge because you were born in a commoner. Be quiet, you. He doesn't understand yet. Come on, baby Matt. Let's go play in the yard. It is hot outside. You grip your brother's hand with one hand and your sister's with another as they help you walk down the giant stone stairs. Then you sit on the ground and start exploring the sparse blades of grass with your fingers. It tickles. In the sky far above and away from you is a gigantic pillar, a perfectly straight stick made of light. It is so bright it hurts to look at. What are you staring at? Why are you staring at that shining pillar? It's not going anywhere, you know? Hey, I want to play hide and seek. He's just a little baby. How is he gonna play? Then you hide him. I'll try to find both of you. You have no idea what they're talking about, but you support them with happy cooing. This is strange, but so exciting. Stefan and Gloria glance at each other, then your brother walks to a big tree, closes his eyes, starts shouting something. Gloria takes your hand and walks you through the yard. Your sister takes you behind some thick bushes by a tall wall. Light from that light stick on the horizon barely reaches here. You can't see home from this place. The ground is crawling with tiny black bugs. Gloria sits you down on the ground, puts a finger to your mouth for some reason, and then she's gone. You can no longer hear Stefan's voice. Gloria is nowhere to be seen. You feel colder. Bugs are no fun to play with. You've been sitting here for a long time, completely alone. Nobody checks on you. Did they forget about you? Did they abandon you? Cry loudly? Or willpower? You get up off the ground and start crawling through the bushes to find your way back home. So, find a way back home. Go on way. Hide and seek. Get up on your feet, sweating a little bit. Carefully take your first steps and lose your balance and plop down on the ground again. But you are determined. You get up again and keep walking in the direction Gloria went. You walk out of the bushes and further walk toward the wall of the house. And then the most tender and gentle hands in the world embrace you and pick you up. Mother has found you. There you are. You lean on your mother's chest and hold on to her arms. You want her to know that you came here all by yourself without any help. She pats her on the head. Your brother and sister stand behind her, clearly feeling guilty. Gloria is in tears. Stefan is staring at his feet. +1 determination. You hug mother tightly. She's here now. $11.20. The Great Descent. Another memory. You're still a little child, but you can already talk and run around on your own. Today's out of the ordinary. Father's busy around the house giving orders to the servants. Throughout the day, the kitchen has been abuzz with work. There are solemn and gloomy preparations and candles being lit. Even your older brother Stefan is quiet today. Mother takes your hand and brings you to your sister Gloria. My son, today's the Great Descent. We honor the day when the twin gods descended to us. We must spend this day in reverence to the gods. You are too young to understand, so just do everything your sister says for now. Gloria takes you to the playroom. There are no toys, no chairs. Even the carpet has been taken away. There's nothing here but a bare wooden floor. Today we're not allowed to go in any other rooms, and we'll be eating nothing but gruel and stale bread. On the day of the Great Descent, everyone must be where they belong. It is quiet, unusually so. Muffled voices from beyond the door are all you can hear. You are sitting on the cold floor, confused, with no idea what to do. Then you hear your sister's voice, lonely sound in the empty room. It's a little song that mother taught her. You hold your breath as you listen to it. When the twins came down to earth, they brought lots for every birth. Let us count them. 1, 2, 3. The twins made them for you and me. Nobles rule and bravely fight. They protect us with all their might. Priests work hard to understand. Guide us by the twins' commands. Common people work and toil. Always patient, never spoiled. Live your lot where you were born. To the day when you pass on. Know your lot and know the prayer. For the twins see everywhere. You are transfixed by the tune. Gloria notices your gaze and a smile creeps across her face. You like the rhyme, don't you, Matt? Do you know what it's all about? Look, there are 3 lots. They were brought to us by the twins when they descended to us from the shining pillar. Remember that pillar of light on the horizon? That's it. You can see the shining pillar anytime from anywhere in the world. Hashtag Earth is flat. If you follow your lots as you live, you'll reach the peak of the pillar, and if you don't, you'll get eternal torment at the foot. Okay. You and I are lowborn. Mom is a commoner too. So the lot for you and me is to suffer and be patient and work hard. Understand? The priests and nobles have other lots. The nobles fight and rule over everyone. The priests, well, I'm not really sure what they do, but I guess they talk to the twins and then teach everybody. Gloria stares at you intently. Did you get it, silly? Oh, that's creepy. Then she shakes her head and keeps singing the song over and over again. A voice transfixes you, drawing you in. The room starts to glow like a sky. From this light emerges 2 figures you have known ever since the moment of your birth. One of them embraces your sister's shoulders. The other stands guard behind her back. You watch this happening before your very eyes, unable to turn away. Right? Okay, embraces sister's shoulders. So that's the one with the open palm. The one that's with the fists is standing guard. Gloria is swaying to the song, unaware of what is happening. She sings the final verses once more. Know your lots and know the prayer. You feel compelled by this divine sight to express yourself somehow. You feel words condensing within you from the light. What will these words be? Okay, see, this is one of those weird scenarios, right? So, like, if anyone knows this anime Ruby, right? In Ruby, before the spoilers, by the way, if you haven't reached like season 6, before they had gods that were there and you could actively go to the god and see the god. That's the type of thing where it's like you can't not believe that the gods don't exist when you can go to them and actually see them, right? But like now, nobody's ever seen a real god, right? Like, sure, people will be like, Jesus existed, Muhammad existed, and he talked to the gods and all these different disciples from all these different religions. But you've never had, like, God come down and be like, I am God, let me show you, and just do something miraculous, right? But in this, you've seen the gods 2 times, right? You saw them, and, like, apparently people have seen them. They have descended down, right? Unless it's some weird weather phenomenon that people said they saw something come down from. But you just saw those 2 people behind your sister. So it's like, is it just a hallucination, or is it the real gods? In this case, I think it's the real gods, which means you should finish the song properly. Know your lot and know the prayer. For the twins see everywhere. You sing the last line together with Gloria. Your sister looks up at you in surprise and gives you a nod. The shining pair standing behind her back turn to look at you. You can feel their gaze piercing you from top to bottom. And the moment passes, they melt into dim light coming from the window. Gloria turns her head to look at where you were staring. Did you see something, Matt? You shake your head. Not anymore. We curious? You're starting to understand more and more what the adults say. Your family is an unusual one. Father is a nobleman, but not by birth. His is a title earned through great service, but your mother is a low-born woman, a commoner. Because of this, you were born a commoner. Your father says you may yet come unto nobility. Okay. You learn to read at an early age, together with Mother. You read and learn by heart the many poems about the divine twins, the twin gods who reside upon the shining pillar. Mother calls these poems prayers. Again and again, you try to discern the shapes of the gods in the strip of holy light that shines in the sky all day and night, but the light is too blinding to gaze upon. The greatest joy of all is when the stairs are no longer an insurmountable obstacle. Now you can climb and even jump from step to step. Father urges you to be more careful and avoid climbing too high. And even though you keep falling, you never stop being curious about the world around you. Your older brother Stefan now spends less and less time playing with Gloria and you. Playing with commoners is beneath a noble man to be, he says. So Gloria calls him names, Stefan pulls her pigtails. One fine evening, Father gathers you all in the sitting room with an announcement. You will have another little brother or sister soon. Gloria asks to bring home a little sister. Another brother would be too much. Stefan gets frustrated. There are too many little siblings getting in his way as it is. Soon you will be an older brother too. And it doesn't really matter who the youngest will be, a boy or a girl, you will love them the most. Father comes back from his trips and he reads his adult books aloud for you. You find those stories of wars, generals, and rebellions quite enchanting. Your father approves of your fascination. Study hard, and maybe one day you'll become a noble of the mantle and earn your sword. But first, you need to grow up. Growing up, the concept is as terrifying as it is alluring. A lot of suffering. You kept staring at the carpet under your feet. You are both ashamed and proud as it feels odd. A scratch on your hand stings a little. Stefan is standing next to you, sniffling from pain. Your brother was training in the yard with a wooden sword. You wanted to play with him, but you ended up getting angry and throwing the sword at you. The stick hit you in the shoulder. You picked it up and hit him with it. Your mother's shoes walking to and fro on the carpet. You do not want to look up. You would rather not see her angry. She is not as gentle to you these days. Why did you hurt Stefan, Matt? You started out an explanation. He hit you first. You just hit him back. How dare he pester me like that? When I grow up, I'm gonna hit you with a real sword. Mother shushes you both and speaks to you again. Her voice is stern, yet you could feel her concern for you. Even if Stefan hits you, you cannot hit him back. You are my son and I was born a commoner. You're allowed to suffer. But your brother was born from a noble father and a noble mother. His sacrament is coming soon, and then he'll rule over the likes of us. I don't like this fucking casteism type shit right here. Goddamn. If you hurt a noble, you must be punished. That is your lot. And the sooner you learn it, the better off our entire family will be. Goddamn, I'm about to start a fucking rebellion in my fucking age. Now Stephen looks at you in triumph. Ooh. Okay. You look up at your mother in fear, not sure what to do. Deny your guilt. You continue to insist that you are not guilty and will not be punished no matter what. Ooh. Demand an explanation. Demand that mother explain why things are like this. Willpower is greater than 0. Greater than or equal to 0. So that means... Okay. I gotta fucking fix myself. There we go. Okay. Hold on. So my willpower is at 0. To go to -5, I would be exhausted. Why would I do that? No. See, I'm pretty sure everyone knows this. You don't question your fucking mother. Your mother says something, you go on with it. I should accept the punishment. However, this is not real life. It is a game. I'm gonna fucking demand an explanation. As a little fucking child. You start asking questions. Why were you born a commoner if your father is a noble? If you have your father's name, why can't you have his lot? And why can't you choose a lot for yourself if you don't like the one you have? Mother is stunned by all the questions you are peppering her with. Don't you dare ask me about that, Matt. I'll violate my lot if I start explaining it all to you. I'm a commoner, not a priest. Well, goddamn, take me to the priest. Ooh, you are flogged in front of your entire family. The pain burns on your skin again and again, tears rolling down your cheeks. It feels like the punishment will never end. It hurts to walk when you are finally let go. You slowly climb the stairs, walk to your room. You see a book on your bed. The Teaching of Istius, Volume 2. Bitch, that's all I want. I just want a fucking book. Also, the whipping reminds me of Red Rising. If you ever read that, the first book. Your tears have dried now. You begin to read, slowly making your way through the difficult words. Every death of the body bringeth the soul ever closer to the twin's judgment. And when the body dieth the truth death, the soul soareth to the shining pillar. The twin gods do judge every soul, and their judgment is stern and unforgiving. He who followed his lot in life from birth shall melt in bliss atop the peak of the shining pillar. The words confuse and elude you, instilling fear and awe. You will read this mysterious book again and again as you grow up. Hey, I'm getting more perceptive. Gloria's rhymes. Mother mostly stays in her chambers now. With each passing day, she grows heavier and her features get rounder. It gets difficult for her to walk, but she still smiles all the time. One day she takes your hands and puts them on her big belly, and you feel a movement deep inside of her. You will have another brother or sister soon. Gloria takes you on walks to the yard now. You explore the yard together under the evening light of the pillar. And she sings you songs and tells you amazing stories. Hey Matt, do you want to hear a rhyme? I wrote it myself. There's even a bit about you. But don't tell anyone, okay? Writing poems and songs is only for nobles. If Mommy hears about this, I'll get flogged. Remember how you got flogged for hitting Stefan? Our judgment is my second father. In the past I had another. Mother says the twins are great. She says we should not fight our fate. Brother loves to jump around. Please don't fall down on the ground. See, I wrote a little rhyme. Please don't tell them that it is mine. But today your sister's nowhere to be seen. She promised to take you to the old pond and show you the red frogs that live there. But then she vanished. The servants join you in your search. Even Mother leaves her chambers when she hears the commotion. Finally, you find Gloria in the far corner of the garden. She is holding a quill and sheets of paper covered in poetry. Mother becomes angry the moment she sees it. She looks through the poetry and her face grows dark with rage. Gloria is standing before her, wringing her hands, looking for an opportunity to run, but there seems to be no escape. What is this nonsense, Gloria? We talked about this. You were told to take care of your little brother. You are absolutely not allowed to entertain yourself with us writing. I can decide that for myself, Mom. No, you cannot. It has already been decided by the gods. And he's not a little brother anymore. He doesn't need a nanny. And I need some time to think for myself. I'm not hurting anyone. You are a commoner and a future wife. It's time you learned how to properly care for children. Had your disgraceful former father kept me in his house, you could have been born a noble. But that is not our fate. And you are absolutely forbidden from ever spoiling paper and wasting it again. Mother grabs Gloria firmly by the hand and takes you both into the house. The scribbled sheets fly into the air. Gloria sobs violently. You are a bystander to the scene, unsure of how to act. And I can't do that because I guess I needed more determination. Yeah. Offer to write rhymes with her. That's a fucking dickhead move. Treats your room without saying a word. See, it's like, do I want to make relationships or do I want to do this? When's the next, like, up for this? It would be. Very tempted. Very tempted between these two. Why doesn't this give you that also? I feel like that should give you the relations also. Fuck it, we'll comfort her. We're exhausted now, I think. Mother leaves. The last of your sister's poetry burns away in the fireplace. You walk up to your crying sister and take her by the hand. None of this is her fault, you say. What Mother did was wrong and far too harsh. Gloria sniffles before speaking. But I did leave you all alone. You're not mad at me, really? You nod in reassurance. Gloria embraces you. Matt, you're the best little brother in the world. Two of you make a little deal. She promises to tell you when she wants to be alone, and you promise to protect her and her secrets always. Fuck yeah, that was the best outcome in my opinion. There was my willpower though. I am now at -5. So basically, I desperately need willpower now. 11:22. 4 years. Winter, the coming sacrament. Mother is in her armchair, knitting woolen jackets, pants, and socks for the little one. The baby will need to be kept warm, she says. Father spends less time at home now. Mother says he's very busy with his important job. He is a judge, after all. One day you decide to ask Mother about Stefan and Gloria. How come they're brother and sister to you, but not siblings to each other? Well, my dear, I didn't give birth to Stefan, you see. He's the son of another mother, and Gloria's the daughter of another father. Come on now, don't knit your brow like that. You'll understand when you're older. How is that even possible? You're all family, are you not? Several days later, Mother calls Stefan and Gloria to the sitting room. You sneak in after them. First, Mother gets angry and asks you to leave, but then she relents. You are told to sit still, be quiet, and remember every word you hear. When you enter the temple, bow to the twins, first to the elder on the right, then to the younger on the left. Stefan, you are a noble man to be, so walk along the side paved with marble where the benches are. Gloria, you walk along the sharp side. What the fuck you mean sharp? They got knives and shit? When you're there, you must get down on your knees, each on your own side. Stefan, kiss a sword. Gloria, my daughter, they will strike you with the lash. Don't be afraid of it. Resign yourself to the suffering it brings. It's blessing of your lot. Gloria doesn't like the idea of lash. There's a tense feeling in your chest as well. You were told to remember this. Will the lash strike you too one day? On the next day, they take your brother and sister to the temple. You run towards them after. I guess that's what that is. When they finally come back. The back of Gloria's dress is soaked with blood. She's hunched a bit, sobbing quietly. Stefan is putting on airs, acting prouder than ever. Everything else looks different about them. It's like all is the same, and yet everything has changed. Each of them has accepted their lot. Of course our relation is gonna go down. Well, of course it's gonna be going down because he's a fucking asshole. We're in disagreements now. Took the first sacrament at the temple. You have to do that like every year? God damn. The newborns cry. You eye the little bundle in your father's arms with curiosity. Behind the many layers of sweat and clothes is your newborn baby brother. Mother is glowing and smiling with joy. Stefan and Gloria are also here, all excited. You promise yourself you're going to be the best big brother in the world. You'll never hit him. Oh no, the two of you will play together and teach Stefan together and help Mother together. help mother together, and go on so many adventures together. It feels so strange to be an older brother. Just the day you were the youngest in the family, but everything is different now. Your parents named your little brother Nathan, and your mother spends day and night by his side. And Nathan cries all the time, day and night. Mother barely gets any sleep. She's so worn now she starts forgetting things. Like today, for instance, she forgot her knitting in the armchair in the sitting room. You'd better bring it back to her as soon as possible. You enter Mother's bedroom. You miss her smile so much. You walk in without saying hello and give her the knitting. Instead of gratitude, you get an ice-cold, exhausted stare. Nathan is also there, screaming all the time. Go away, Matt, you are bothering me. She spits these words through her teeth. You look at the bawling newborn. She can't even get a minute of respite. Enough already. When are you going to stop? I just want some peace and quiet. Mother leaps across the room and stares and starts shaking Nathan with malice in her eyes. His cries get even louder. She starts to look so tired from his never-ending screams. She seems to be within an inch of smashing him against the wall. Somebody has to do something. You are scared of your mother right now, but you fear for Nathan's life much more. Cat hug. That would have been good. See, calling her father, I feel like redirect her anger. I feel like that's what would happen. Keep shaking Nathan violently, and you cannot stay any longer. He is no longer bawling; he is shrieking. Just leave me alone. But then come out of nowhere your voice, so loud it drowns out the cries. No! It's not Nathan's fault, Mother. You're just tired. Please don't do anything to my little brother. If you have to punish someone, punish me instead. He's too young. He wouldn't understand. Mother's eye freezes and looks at you. Her eyes too narrow slits. Her stare is cold and full with pure wrath. So pure you cannot help but recoil in fear. Are you trying to teach me how to take care of a child? Are you giving me lessons on calming down a newborn baby? You're insolent, insipid, nagging know-it-all. It's time you learned your place. She puts Nathan on the bed sheets, then moves towards you. You step back, but a closed door blocks your way. She slaps you across the face. Your ears ring from the heavy blow. Your cheeks burn from her warmth. You wince and close your eyes, expecting a second slap, but nothing comes. Nothing but a mother's heavy breath and Nathan's shrill cries. There's a knock at the door. You step aside. Father walks in. He looks at you, clutching a reddened cheek and the bawling baby. At your mother, her eyes red with rage and tears, her breath heavy and ragged. Go to your room, son. I'll join you soon. You do as you're told. Back in your room, you press your aching cheek against the cold window, hurt and dazed by what just happened. Soon enough, Nathan stops crying. You hear father's heavy footsteps in the hallway. He comes to your room and sits on the bed next to you. Son, please do not be angry with your mother. Twins know she wishes anybody no harm. No, nobody any harm. This is a difficult time for her, but she will make it through as a family. We will make it through as a family. You stepped up to protect your brother. You acted like a nobleman today. I'm proud of you. Your mother and Nathan are resting now. How bad does it hurt? You shake your head. Not bad, but your hand still aches to clutch the cheek. Father embraces you with a sorrowful smile, gingerly pats you on the head, and you press your forehead into his housecoat. Things were calm now. Trouble has passed, and you are quietly happy. Dope. I forget when we started this. I think it was I'm 5 years old now, so 5 years after I was born, my brother's born. Now I'm 5 years old, I guess. So I guess I was 4-ish. You wake up to your father's touch on your shoulder. You finally came back home after a long trip. But Today's your special day. The day when you begin your studies. Now, teachers will be coming to our home to teach you. You must do everything they say. Be diligent in your studies, and know you will grow closer to the noble's lot. And since you must remember this day, a present is in order. Lydia, get our little schoolboy dressed. I'm taking him to the market district. Stefan wants to come with you too, but your father hushes him sternly. This is your day. Your older brother is hurt to hear this, but stays quiet. An open carriage takes the two of you through the dusty, noisy city streets and a pleasant wind tussling your hair. Your city is called Anitsate? How does it? Antoinette? Et? So it's Et. So it's Anizet. I'm calling it that. Your city is called Anizet. That you already know. It's one of the largest cities in the entire empire. There's a big shadow on the street. It comes from the white foliage of an enormous tree that spreads its branches above the city. My son, did you know that the silver tree grew from the blood of our God's own disciples? It has been growing here for hundreds of years, right in our city. It cannot be damaged or burned. Not even the clergy know why. The carriage comes to a halt by a small shop next to a city square. You run there and freeze by the stalls in excitement. The shop is packed with dolls and figurines and toys. You've never seen so many at once before. Have you chosen a present yet? Your father asks you. You have. You want the Holy Order set, which includes several figurines of the Empire's greatest warriors of all times. You rattle off everything you know about the Holy Order. They were the ones who aided the Emperor's own forces in seizing the province of Magra and storming our city. That's how we joined the Empire. Father nods in approval. Very well. War is in your lot for now. But maybe these tour soldiers will teach you to think like a general. We will lead them into battle and study military strategy. Go ahead, take your present. Having said this, Father turns away to examine the books. You run to the box of toy soldiers, delirious with excitement. But there's a fancy-dressed boy in your way, and he's about to take your warriors for himself. He elbows you aside and reaches for the box. Anger overcomes you, and you push him from behind. Your opponent falls to the floor. Is he gonna impale himself on one of the swords, or what? The rich boy screams so loud everyone in the shop can hear. He hit me, he hear me. A tall, towering man looms over you. This is the boy's father. But then you feel your own father's hand on your shoulder. What happened? Press against your father, you mind more at ease. He will protect you. Yes, you shoved the boy in front of everyone, but he tried to take your present for himself. Father turns you around to face him when he hears these words. Is this true, man? Did you strike the son of a nobleman? Robert, be more grateful. Oh, I really need willpower. I mean, I'm a son. I'm a child. I'm 5 years old. Deny it. Having fun. Deny when wrong. The boys to come see now. The two fathers come face to face. Your father is calm while the enraged nobleman pelts him with insults. He reaches for his sword again and again. The insults will slap in the end. The nobleman challenges his father to a duel. There's only one way to protect the family honor. Father grudgingly accepts the challenge. Oh my god, please don't fucking die because of me. They bring him home much later with a fresh wound on his side, another one on his shoulder. You spend the entire day by his bedside, doing whatever he says, overcome with a mixture of shame, guilt, and gratitude. Even the father rarely shows it. He would readily risk everything for his family. Oh my god. Now I'm at 5 willpower. Ready for action. When father's wound heals, he brings you the plain present, a box full of the line of warriors made of battle. Only one thought on your mind: your family is always by your side. God. 6 years old. Somewhere at the family dinner. Today, Father ordered the dinner table to be brought out into the yard. For the first time in months, he's home, outside of the confines of his always locked study. He spent the entire day playing with Nathan and you, discussing various matters with Stefan, now an adolescent, and walking in the garden. And now at dinner under the open sky. Your entire family gathers together with Father at the head of the table, smiling. He asks each of you about your studies. Nathan climbs up on his knee and recites a counting rhyme in a funny, sing-songing voice. Stefan mentions that his fencing teacher praised his accomplishments. He rises from the table together with Father to show his skill in a practice duel. Next comes Gloria's turn. She stands on her chair, recites a lengthy prayer by heart. Mother showers her sister with praise. Father chuckles quietly, hiding his smile with his mustache. When your turn comes, you recite all the ranks in the Legion, from common soldier to high commander. Stefan listens to you with a skeptical look on his face. Night slowly falls, but the servants ensure that the yard is well illuminated. You don't feel cold in the dusk tonight. It feels good, yet so important. All of you are finding together, sitting at the same table. No fighting, just smiles. No arguing, just pleasant small talk. Then a servant approaches your father with a letter in his hand. He reads it in the dim light, and each line gradually washes the smile off Father's face until only a stone-cold mask remains. Mother looks at Father with an unspoken question in her eyes. Gregor Brante is coming back to Anset. He's the head of our family, my father. Of course, he disapproves of the marriage. Your grandfather, Gregor Brante, returned to the family home from the capital. So we're the largest city, but we're not the capital? Or was he in the city and we've just been living outside of the city? The intrusion. Ever since the news of grandfather's impending arrival, there has not been a single day when the house has not been cleaned or decorated. Your parents anxiously make sure everything is in order. They tell you to wash your face and hands after walks and scold you for leaving books on the floor. They tell Gloria she will be flogged if she is ever seen in the attic. Or ever seen hiding in the attic. They make Stefan stay in his room. Even baby Nathan gets in trouble. Oh, everyone is on edge. Then one day grandfather arrives. It is a grim day, so hot your neck is sticky with sweat. Father, mother, Stefan, Gloria, you, and Nathan, the entire Brante family stands on the porch in front of the house. The house servants line up behind you. The carriage arrives and steps out a tall, gaunt old man with a heavy walking stick and a heavier gaze. You cringe instinctively. Good health to you, father. Children, greet your grandfather as you have been taught. I gotta come up with a fucking voice for this dude. You still trying to look like a real nobleman, are you? You can't fool me, Robert. I was the first of the Brante family to be ennobled by the mantle, and I am the only one who remembers how to bear this burden properly. I live honorably by my lot. Your marriage to that low-born wretch cut us off from ever becoming nobles of the sword. My progeny could have been born bearing noble blood. Father, I beg you, this is not the place. Grandfather eyes him with scorn and walks into the house, the entire family following close behind him. I've been away far too long. This entire house is a mess. This is an insult. How can you live in such a pigsty, Robert? The servants have grown far too lazy, all thanks to your commoner of a wife. I warned you, did I not? And yet you did as you saw fit. And the children, what do they know of tradition and honor? They are being raised in a virtuous family, father. And now you're speaking like a lowborn who's content to live in humility. Twins willing, now that I'm here, this will not happen again. I am taking your oldest son to the capital. I will see you cannot provide I see you cannot provide Stefan with the proper education, so I will correct your mistake. Your brother's fate has been decided just like that. Father does not object. He orders the servants to prepare Stefan for the journey. Stefan freezes in place, glancing at grandfather and father and again and again. The latter puts a hand on his shoulder reassuringly. Grandfather's lips are a tight line, white with contempt. The house is examined, room after room. Everything grandfather sees is showered with scorn. He scoffs at a crease on a blanket in Nathan's crib in mother's bedroom. He mocks Gloria's knitting in her room. The door to your room is next. What is this, Robert? 10 soldiers in your younger son's room? He's bored a commoner. I won't have him daydreaming of battle. Grandfather seized the box containing the 10 warriors of the Holy Order. Your father stays silent. Anger and fear boil within you. This is your big present from the day of your studies. From the first day of your studies. It means so much to you. But what if he's right? What if you need to prove you're right to command the toy soldiers first? Grandfather shakes his head disapprovingly and shoves the toy box into the roaring fireplace. If you wait too long, they'll melt in the flames. God, this thing is such like a balance. I don't have enough for anything. I could burst into tears, but that just doesn't do anything. Deaths +1. Driven mad banger, you kick grandfather and like, does he kill me? What the fuck? It's deaths +1. Also, I'm like greater than or equal to 4. No, 3. Oh my god. If I just had one more perception, I could watch them help. I would rather have that choice, but I can't make it. It's burst into tears and lose willpower. This is the only good choice, let's be honest, because it gives me determination perception. Granted, it gives me a death and lose my relationship with my grandfather. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Kick him. I'm a 6-year-old kid. Overwhelmed by helpless rage, you run to your grandfather and kick him in the leg with all the strength you can muster. Yet he is immovable. Next thing you see is him leaning, towering over you menacingly, his heavy walking stick in hand. Oh shit. Lowborn scum, how dare you raise a hand to me? The blow hits home. The handle of the walking stick is as heavy as a rock. You are dazed, robbed by a hairy side. Now goes another blow, a sharp pain splits your head, then darkness. Your hand twitches against your will, then again and again. It is like it is trying to catch a butterfly, and then you fall into a Bermuda void. The void takes away a part of you. One of the lives you were given to live. It will never return. There's pain and desperation and a sense of loss. Nothing can be done now. Oh my god. You fall into the pain, it embraces you. A soft feather bed. You feel light, free. There are no restraints, just a warm glow that envelops you in its secure embrace. The waves carry you, the touch is soft. They delicately enshroud what was once your body. It is a feeling unlike anything you have ever experienced before, something absolutely complete. You touch something greater with the reason behind everything, the reason of your very existence. You were sculpted from this light. It was the first thing you ever felt, a boundless and sincere unity of the universe. Your beginning was a spark that cast this light in all directions, and now you are here again, one with the beginning of everything. The light gleaming from you resembles the light of the shining pillar. You still see it in the north, as always. The waves of light carry you to 2 figures. The eldest is nearest. He is ready to accept you. He is quiet, wise, kind, and pure. The younger waits further back. You do not know what he is. So this is the nice one. That's our third. I guess you could tell from the sword and the whip. Okay. The waves pause at the elder's feet. He leans over you and plants a feather-like kiss on your forehead. The kiss spreads all over you. You're filled with unparalleled delight and bliss. You exist. You are unique. There is no one else like you. They know this. They love you. You will never be alone. You are a part of them, a part of your family, a part of the universe. Twin gods will never leave you. They watch over you constantly. The elder softly touches you as you lie spread out amongst the waves, sending you further down the torrent of light. You float on to the top of the silver tree's spreading crown. The closer you get to the tree, the heavier you become. The waves draw you along its trunk, but you do not wish to part the warmth and softness with the love. You turn around, the elder is still watching you. He nods. All is as it should be. Go, your time has not yet come. You must return to the world now. As you tumble down toward your body, you comprehend the true meaning of your lesser death and the divine love that has been revealed to you. Love exists not in the hereafter. It is present in the entire design of the twins. That is the original origin of all life in this world. What is a manifestation of the love in your mortal life? Empire, lot, family, cause, yourself remain silent. By creating the empire, the twin gods cared for all living creatures. The empire is the only thing that gives us a place in the world and a connection to others. It's an enormous family made for people by the gods. Gods give you a clear mission of this world, thus gifting you your very being, especially loving all things. I've always been in kindred blood. You share the miracle of life and the universe with your kid. Your family is what you are given upon being born and what you leave behind when you depart. Cause the love of the gods have for you is so great that they allow you to change the world they have created. To influence it with your deeds. Whatever your mission is, it is proof of the twin god love for you yourself. What could be stronger manifestation of love than your very existence? Your every emotion, every thought, every action exists by virtue. Yep. Cause. I like that one. A sudden comprehension of the love with which the entire world is imbued illuminates your mind, but then it fades away and vanishes. You regain sensation to your flesh. It is heavy, unwieldy. It lacks the light, that lightness. That light, it is a burden. It is smothering you. You gasp for air, your chest expands painfully. You feel as though your lungs are about to burst. The stagnant odor of the crypt fills them, revolting but so real. You are back. Was I in the crypt or what? Then you smell a sickly, moist smell. You feel dampness all around you. You come back to your senses in the gloom of your family's crypt, lying flat on a stone slab. Your parents are on their way to the crypt right now. You hear their muffled voices. They are arguing, and against all rules, mother will not agree with father. Why would Sir Gregor do this? He took one of our child's lives. Lydia, my father is our family's head, and the boy raised a hand to him. There was nothing we could do, and father did admit that he was too hard on him. Please do not anger Sir Gregor. You need to accept this. It will never happen to any of our children ever again. The verses go quiet as they lean over you. You lean on your elbows to try to get up from the stone. Mother gingerly wraps your cloak over your naked body as you shiver from the cold. My son, your first death came far too soon. I know it may be difficult to realize what happened, but know this, the twin gods are ever merciful. You are a child and your time to leave for the hereafter has not come yet. You will be returned here by the gods twice more. But then do not tempt fate again, and never ever defy those who can easily take your life. Matt, you have angered your grandfather greatly. Do not stand in Sir Gregor's way ever again, and he will never hurt you again. For now, just stay away from him. Got it. Father stays a step away from you, not saying a word. When mother finishes talking, he picks you up and carries you outside. Together, your parents take you from the family crypt. On your way out of the crypt, you take a moment to touch your head. It is perfectly fine. There's no sign of the blow. Back home, grandfather is still walking through the house examining rooms. You can see that Stefan and Gloria are disturbed by what just happened. Nathan starts crying when he sees you. The playroom still reeks of burnt paint. Distaste. Fuck you, dude. There is something new about you now. A pitch black stripe on your left arm. It looks like a strange bit of dirt at first, but will not wash off. It will be like that forever, Mother explains. That is all she will say of it. It's like fucking Jumanji with The Rock and Kevin Hart. You got your lives on your arms. I died once, but I got +1 to both of these, so I'm doing good. I feel like that was the best choice. Goddamn rat. Sorry for my first death. Woohoo. 6 years old. As a consequence of your actions, conditions met. Your younger brother Nathan is growing. Mother spends more time with the rest of your family now. You help her and play with your brother and take care of him when she asks. You often go to Mother's room to sit at the foot of her bed after Nathan falls asleep. She reads you the sacred books and asks you about the things you learned that day. During these moments, you see the world through her eyes as well. One day, the door to your room opens and she brings a large box covered with a piece of cloth. It's rare for you to see her overjoyed. She sets the box on the floor and removes the cloth. The box on the cloth is made out of glass and has a wooden base. Inside, you see a layer of earth shaped into carefully crafted passages, and these passages are full of hard-working ants. Matt, this is a gift to you, an ant farm. It's a little world inside of a small box. We can watch them through the glass. Look, this is the queen ant. She's the reason all these little ants were born. You sit by the box together. You hold your breath as you watch the ant colony at work. There turns out to be a method to the ants' chaotic movement. Every single one of them has a task to perform. Some of them have larger mandibles. They are the protectors of the colony. They can draw blood from your finger. Others work all around the colony, repairing the walls and clearing any debris from the passages. There are also workers who collect food you put in a special tray, leaves, bits of meat, maggots, and bring it to the rest of the colony. You take a worker ant and put it right next to the food. However, the insect has no interest in it. It starts circling around the tray aimlessly. Mother takes the stray ant and puts it back where it belongs. Why did you do that, my son? The ants cannot do what they were born to do. Each of them was born for their own job. You shake your head slowly. If only the ants could do whatever you wanted them to. This is your gift for now, so they belong to you. Or maybe Mother's presence is the reason they won't obey you. I could gain fucking insight though, bitch. -1 unity, but we need it so bad right now. But it gets the destiny of insight. First of all, this is a ridiculous fucking scenario. A little fucking kids are like, this ant won't obey me because mom is here. I have to ask mom to leave. What the fuck kind of kid thinks that? I don't know about you, but I didn't think that when I was a kid. Goddamn. I really want to play by myself, but we really need unity, I feel like, you know? I mean, though, we get what I'm doing it. Move away from Mother and pull the black glass box to you so she looks at you surprised, but she gave it to you. It would be easy to learn about the answer on your own. Mother's sighs, stands back up. Very well, I understand. You want to find out your own answers. You've grown up so quickly, my son. The door creaks quietly as it closes. You are left to your devices. You spend a long time watching the ants at work, and then you decide to go outside and find some bugs to feed on. Once your haul is in the tray, you know which bugs they drag away and which they leave untouched. Day after day, you keep the tray full of food, provide the insects with plenty of water, and move dead ants from the farm. Your tiny subjects still refuse to change their peculiar ways. Just as Mother said, the ant farm is exactly like the world we live in. The ants will never know that you are there. I'm inquisitive though, bitches. And ooh, yeah. Experience an insight when your mother tells you about the way the world. Yes, that's what I was looking for. I think there's one more thing from this chapter that I really wanted to get. Grandfather leaves, your older brother Stefan goes with him. From that day on, fathers hire teachers tend to you alone. They bore you with monotonous lectures on writing, counting, and the way of life in the blessed Arkanian Empire. You often distract yourself from the instruction by playing with your younger brother Nathan, while the master of the house. Your home grows quiet without your elder brother. Too quiet. Weeks later, your family receives a letter from Stefan. Grandfather has sent him to a boarding school for nobles, and he is now studying hard in preparation for his service as a nobleman. The rules are way too strict. You can't even sneeze without the teacher's permission. But I've been studying with my peers. We're learning how to live as nobles in noble society, while also learning the art of swordplay. That's my favorite part. With Stefan now at the boarding school, grandfather arrives once more, this time to live in our home. The only good that is that he often has urgent business in Eternia, the capital of the empire, and has to travel there. One day you ask mother where he lived before. In Eternia, she says, but now his place is here. Each time grandfather returns, he gives the servants new orders. Your home is now always busy with repairs. Servants are redecorating grandfather's chambers, including his library and sitting room. Sometimes father tries to gently talk him out of this. Why subject the house to constant reconstruction? Grandfather's answer is always the same. This home is mine, and I will live here as it befits a man of nobility. An illustrious guest. Some days grandfather stays home, and on those days you try your best to stay out of his sight. But there is no way you could avoid family breakfast. Food is there, but you cannot bring yourself to eat. Mother's eyes are red and swollen. She's been crying all night again. Grandfather sits at the head of the table where nobody used to sit before. Robert, it's high time your youngest sons underwent their sacraments. Sir Brant, please, let them live free of the lot for a little while longer. They are but... Shut your mouth, Robert. That wife of yours is impertinent enough to interrupt me. If this ever happens again, she'll be eating her gruel with the servants in the kitchen where she belongs. It is time you considered a real marriage, Robert. One to a woman of a proper station. Gloria drops her fork. Grandfather shoots her a scathing look. A tear rolls down mother cheek. Father does not look away from his plate, his hands clutched into fists. Baroness El Lodar is one such woman. She is a comely widow and a fine match. She is suing for inheritance right now and could use proper support and a husband. You can leave your low-born Lydia around. You can keep your low-born Lydia around if you like. Servant, mistress, I don't care. I will not do that, father. I am the head of this family, and the family standing took a severe blow after your marriage to that commoner. It is unthinkable. How could you even give up a memory of a beautiful Amelia L. born for this lowly woman and that bastard child of hers? But now you have a chance to set things right. Don't disappoint me. Father nods curtly, trying not to look in mother's direction. Father, I wish to see Stefan. If I find your conduct in the Baroness's presence satisfactory enough, then you may see. She's coming for a visit tomorrow. Be prepared. Grandfather wipes his mouth with his napkin, throws it onto his plate, and leaves. Mother's lips move silently. Nobody says a word. Then father stands up and orders you and the other children, not the children, it's just me and him. Or me, Gloria, and Nathan. The other children, back to your rooms. He needs to speak to mother in private. Your father comes to your room before bedtime. He sits on the edge of the bed and adjusts a crease on the woolen blanket. He distances himself from you after Stefan's departure, so you're not used to such attention from him. In the candlelight, you can see his face, and in the darkness, there's a sour expression on it. My son, Baroness Emma Elodar will be visiting us tomorrow. Please be polite and treat her with respect. Nathan will do as you do. I want this dinner to be as immaculate as possible. Don't let me down. On the next day, Mother starts dressing you and Nathan for the coming dinner. You see red all around her eyes. She's been crying for a long time. It hurts just to look at her. Nathan starts whining quietly. You and Nathan are dressed in the doublets and your tousled hair brushed into shape. Gloria is told to stay in her room. Father appears wearing his best suit. Mother is in a humbled brown dress looking pale. Grandfather has an uncharacteristically contented look about him. You hear the sound of wheels and hooves as against the cobblestone in the yard, then a pair of dainty heels come clacking. The antechamber is completely quiet and still for Grandfather's observant eye. The door opens. You see your guest, a beautiful, dark-haired woman is in a dress of elegant deep blue. Father takes the hand of Lady Elodar and kisses it, showering her in compliments. Grandfather's face is beaming in her presence. No one even bothers to introduce Mother. Baroness, allow me to introduce you, Robert's son, Matt, and Nathan Brante. Frankly, it's his eldest, Stefan, who deserves the most attention, but currently he is studying in Eternia with other young noblemen like himself. It is my hope that his younger sons will also make me proud one day. Grandfather eyes you, probably with a probing look. Ooh, yes, I have all my choices. You gotta love it when you have all your fucking choices and choose your own adventure. How will you act in front of the Baroness? Will you accept her here next to your mother? Your father's rightful wife? Take Mother's arm and leave the hall by her side. Let's just do that. Maintain our composure. You mutter a proper greeting to Lady Lodar and bow your head. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Mother walking upstairs to her room. You, on the other hand, follow Father and Grandfather obediently into the sitting room. Grandfather and Baroness Lodar engage in small talk over dinner. They discuss her inheritance litigation, and he advises her like the judge he is. Her father is mostly silent, only getting in a word or two. The morning after Father leaves for Eternia with Grandfather to visit Stefan, he returns from the capital in a quiet rage. You overheard your parents talking. Apparently, Grandfather has already poisoned Stefan's mind against him, and he greeted Father with a cold hostility. The name of Baroness Elodar is never mentioned in the house again. "7 years. The kaleidoscope. Father now checks on your studies often and nitpicks you for sitting or eating or speaking in an incorrect fashion. Once he becomes so annoyed, he says that he wishes Stefan had been the one to stay home instead of you. He never expected to hear the words from your father of all people. God, this is a fucking rough childhood. Grandfather's trip to the capital took longer than expected. It feels lighter around the house without his presence. You allow yourself a little change of scenery instead of your room. You now busy yourself with reading and calculations in the sitting room across the hall, across from the open door to the yard. Gloria has joined you today. She has already helped you progress through several complex passages in the book. Right now, she seems preoccupied with a strange tube. A kaleidoscope, I'm guessing. Are you hurt by the way Grandfather treats you, you ask? Gloria just shrugs. Grandfather always says that they should get rid of me. I'm used to it now. He hurts you a lot worse because you're closer to him. I just have to stay out of his way, that's it. She shows you the strange tube she has been holding all day. Look, it's a kaleidoscope. I got it as a gift. Want to see inside? Excited by the idea, you close the book and peer into the tiny hole on one end of the tube. Your eye sees a multitude of intricate patterns. Each turn of the tube reveals a new web of interwoven colors. They mesmerize you. The kaleidoscope turns the fire burning in the fireplace into a cavalry made of flames. You are riding at the front of the fiery horseman, ready to face the enemy. Grandfather's face emerges from the intersecting lines. You swing the kaleidoscope like a sword, cutting it in half. Now you look at the blue sky through the window. The patterns are unending, secretive, peaceful, and calm. Just calm and peaceful. Just like Father's smile before Grandfather's invasion. The deep blue gives way to a scattering of gold radiating gentle warmth like mother's arms. This fleeting beauty too soon gives way to a hypnotic new pattern. Again and again you see your family in these interconnecting figures as they come together and break apart. And in the middle of this golden glow you see Gloria's eyes gazing at you observantly. Your sister left you long ago. The books are abandoned, and time slips away unchecked, but you are still busy peering into the kaleidoscope. Order emerges from the chaos before your eyes again and again, but you cannot preserve it no matter how hard you try. You're caught in an inner conflict. There is so much that can be done. Yes! There's so much that can be done with this kaleidoscope. Should you take it apart or ask Gloria how it works, or keep enjoying the patterns it shows you? You still have lessons to do today. Okay, what does this give me? Determination, less willpower. Keep looking through it. Well, I'm not gonna take it apart. I should ask before I take it apart. I need more willpower anyways. Boom. +5 willpower. Keep peering into the ever-changing patterns the kaleidoscope offers you. They become truly interesting when you point at the shining pillar gleaming in the sky. Your mind's eye, one battle follows another, filling your ears with clanging steel and neighing horses. You are leading the Imperial Army now. Everyone is so proud of you. Grandfather says you are better than Stefan. And Father's stern voice cuts your daydream short. You also look track of time. It is evening now. I am fucking full power, dude. Prepared for anything. How did you get your hands on this toy, Matt? Why aren't you studying? Give it to me. You will have double the lessons tomorrow. Deal, dude. That was worth it. Ooh, sweet temptations. Grandfather's visits are no longer a cause for fear and panic in this house. He has become something you are used to, something nagging yet not unordinary. Like a splinter or a stain on your trousers, tension still remains. However, Sir Gregor's disdain for everyone in the house is so palpable, it almost stings for real. Your lessons with the tutor are done for today. You are walking down the stairs when you spot Gloria peeping into the sitting room through a slightly open door. You sneak up to your sister and tap her lightly on the shoulder. She is startled. Oh, it's you, Matt. Look, Sir Gregor's eating something. What the? Just look at him eating. Grandfather sitting on the sofa, flipping through a book with one hand and reaching for a glass bowl with another hand. Then, inside the bowl, you see candied fruit, a sweet confectionery forbidden to the common estate. Like all sweet things, your grandfather's face shows no pleasure as he keeps consuming the highborn treats. Clock strikes 3. Grandfather rises from his seat, puts away the bowl on the shelf, and leaves for the yard. He always takes a walk in the city around at this time. Gloria nudges you with her elbow and looks at the candy bowl when you look at her. The first emotion you feel is fear, but next comes curiosity, and it is stronger. Stefan used to boast that candied fruit tastes incredible. Now you have the perfect opportunity to try it. You try candied fruit first. The sugar starts to melt as soon as you put it in your tongue, and it's so sweet you've never eaten anything as good as this. Take the whole bowl off the shelf and give it to your sister. She takes the fruit and brings it to her mouth carefully like a rare treasure. There's thumping on the stairs, footsteps, accompanied by the knocking of a wooden cane. You have no idea why, but grandfather's back. You quickly hide behind the sofa and pull Gloria after you. She's frozen in place with a bowl in her hands. The door opens. Grandfather's menacing figure advances on Gloria. His hand seizes her arm. You squalid, ungrateful, low-born child! How dare you bite the hand that feeds you? You and your trollop of a mother would be sleeping in the ditch if it weren't for my spineless son. The sweet and pleasant things in life are for the noble estate, not for the likes of you. Did you forget your lot? His hand swings and hits Gloria on the cheek. She falls to the floor right next to where you are hidden. Her fingers glisten with the warm melted sugar that brought you here. Grandfather advances again, his walking stick ready, and he sees you huddling behind the armchair. Please don't hurt him, Sir Brant. This is all my fault. He tried to stop me. You could already see a bruise on Gloria's cheek. This is only the beginning of her punishment. Gloria's caught red-handed, unlike you. You can still avoid your punishment. What is it then? Milk sup? Did you try the sugar too, or were you trying to stop this piece of filth, as she says? If I lie, get +5. Gloria, no. Gregor, up. I get +1 Gregor? Stand up and tell the truth, even though it takes you an effort to do it. You actually ate a candied fruit, but Gloria only touched it. You hope this will help your sister avoid punishment. You are quickly proven wrong. Grandfather's face strikes you both with his walking stick, blow for blow. Did I die again? He keeps hitting you until he grows tired, then he leaves you where you are. And soon enough, Mother comes in, finds the two of you on the floor, too afraid to move. She shakes her head in disappointment. You are badly hurt and covered in bruises. Yet she still forces you to kneel and recite the precepts on the lots and how important it is to follow them. Apparently he likes me for that. Then you stand before Father Gregor and swear never to take things that don't belong to you. I feel like that was the best outcome. Just got beat. Being beaten is better than being killed. That was loud. The sacrament. Father and Mother have been focused on Nathan and you since early morning. Instead of breakfast, you are told to say your prayers, wash your hands and faces, get dressed in plain white shirts. Today's the day of your sacrament. Ooh, shit. Mother, I want to go play in the yard. No playing today. You and Matt are big boys now. It's time for you to both have your first sacrament. No one can live without a lot. I don't want a lot. I don't want a lot, Mother. I just want a little. Hey, puns. Be quiet and listen. You were born commoners. You must accept a low-born lot before the twins. When you grow up, you will get a chance to earn a noble lot. Father and Mother take you to the carriage. Nathan is hungry, starts whining. Grandfather is the last to get in the carriage. His eyes are on you and your brother, looking for every fault. Soon the carriage is moving along the streets of Anozet. Slowly and solemnly, one more turn, and you see the colossal white building marked by two massive pillars. For the first time in your life, you are to enter the Church of the Twin Gods. God. You enter the gate and walk under this Landor's dome of the church. The church hall is divided into two halves. Like, I see that's the marble path right there, you know? I think that's the marble path. They're drastically different from one another. One on the floor on one side is rough and has jagged, covered in dry brown spots. I'm assuming that's this. While the floor on the other is made of smooth marble. The commoners kneel on the jagged floor, and they're well dressed, and their families sit on pews. So basically, the poor kneel on spikes, or just jagged pieces of stone, and the rich sit. Father and grandfather leave you to sit on one of the nobles' pews. Mother walks to the rough stone of the commoner's side and gets down on her knees. You see her wince in pain. For the lowborn estate shall suffer in the house of the faith. The church acolytes surround you and lead you to the altar where you and the other children will take your sacrament this day. Before you stands a tall priest dressed in black with a sword in one hand and a hefty whip in the other. Nathan's whining grows louder. He dislikes this place. He is scared. You remain quiet, but your stomach roils in uneasy anticipation. First child to take the sacrament is a jaunty little boy from a family of nobles. The priest extends the sword before him and recites the words of the law. From this day forth, he will fight and rule and pursue the arts, his mind now forever free from the throes of suffering, for he now belongs to the noble lot. The boy proudly touches the flat of the blade with his lips. Nathan is next to receive the sacrament. He suddenly snaps out of his fearful trance and tries to break free. But the acolytes pull him towards the altar, throw him on the jagged floor on the lowborn side. The sharp edges bite into Nathan's knees as he lands, spraying drops of red around him. Ugh. I don't wanna. Matt, why do they wanna whip me? What did I do? You try to break free and run to Nathan's side. You want to give him courage to protect him, but the acolyte's grip on you is too firm. You feel utterly helpless. Your little brother has to face the world all by himself. The priest starts reciting the words of the law as he swings the lash over Nathan's shoulders. From this day forth, Nathan, thou shalt endure and work and suffer. Thou shalt be ardent in thy labor and humble in obedience to the rulers. And now cometh thy first true suffering, which thou must accept with gratitude. The lash cracks, strikes his right shoulder, and strikes his left shoulder. The blows are so powerful that Nathan falls to the floor. The priest tells him to rise. He has received his lot. Nathan gets on his feet, drags himself towards mother, his knees torn and bloodied, his spirit broken. It is your turn. Your feet will not move. You can barely muster enough strength to walk to the altar. You get down on your knees and feel the sharp stones below you. So sharp your clothing cannot protect you. Your skin begins to burn. The acolyte forces your head down and you feel the lash being drawn above you, ready to strike. The priest's words are for you now. This is thy sacrament. Thou shalt work and endure and suffer. Thou art... Goddamn, I don't have it all locked. Thou art about to receive thy first true suffering by the sacred lash. Dost thou accept thy lot? Raise your head. I needed one more determination. Accept it. Catch the lash. Kiss the sword. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me? What the fuck? I could just do that? Minus 10 willpower, be negative 5 willpower. Exhausted, no more choices. Did nobody else think about this? Did nobody just try to kiss a sword? You gotta find the right of the sick. I get one with Gregor though. Let's fucking do it, my dude. Let's fucking do it. The whip lashes through the air, about to strike, but your eyes are transfixed by the blade the priest holds in his other hand. You jump up in a way, the lash misses you. You grab the blade with your hands. It cuts into them without mercy. The priest wrenches it away from your bloody fingers. You look him straight in the eye. I am Matt of House Brante. The priest freezes in shock. He sees the moment to pull the sword closer and kiss the smooth, cold blade. You hear cries of outrage amongst the churchgoers. Mother prostrates herself on the jagged floor, racked with fear. Father remains still, baffled by what you have just done, but grandfather looks at you intently, as though truly seeing you for the first time. There is a semblance of respect in his gaze. Fuck yeah, dude. You're forced back to the commoner's place at the altar. The acolyte seize you by the arms and legs and keep your face bent closely to the bloody, jagged stones of the floor. The lash strikes your shoulder, then your right shoulder, then your left shoulder. Then you are told to rise. You are a commoner. Mother takes your hand and leads you out the church. Once you are outside, she scolds you for being insubordinate and bringing shame to your family. Nathan holds your hand as you walk. His tearful face a mixture of confusion and awe as he looks in your eyes. But you do not feel as though as you've made a mistake. You did what was right for you. I think my goal is to get in good with the grandfather and my father, and then just fucking overthrow this entire system. Oh, fuck yeah, my dude. You have taken your lot. You have taken your first sacrament and received the commoner's lot. I wonder if I was better with the grandfather, would he have done it? Tempted to seize noble lot. Yay! Fuck yeah, my dude. 11:25, childhood's end. The mark left on you by the sacrament takes a long, long time to heal. Mother says it's a reminder of your lot, suffering and sufferance, pain and patience. Gloria shows you the mark of the lash on her shoulder one day. It will never disappear. You're a commoner now. That is a lot you were born into, but Father keeps telling you to study hard so you may yet earn a different lot and become a nobleman, a noble of the mantle. You recall the past with warm sadness when Stefan still lived with you, or when he wrote to you for a time shortly after he left. Now he thinks it beneath him to write to the commoners in his family. Mother didn't lock herself in the bedroom as often back then. This changed shortly before Nathan was born. But most importantly, you missed the time before the terrifying figure of your grandfather was constantly looming over you. You learned the true power of the lot only after the head of the family's arrival. In grandfather's eye, no commoner deserves to be treated with kindness. Is this just him, or is it the way of the entire world? That the very thought makes you queasy. You're older now, and what's more, you are an elder brother now. You've learned how to care about someone else and how to teach and protect. Soon you are a small boy no longer. As the days pass, you gradually, play gradually gives way to laborious study. Now your choices will decide your place in this bizarre, ruthless world of adulthood. Child, you years you are over. There we go. End of chapter 1. So I am very inquisitive, not that much determined, but more determined than most probably. I am exhausted. I've never really gotten my willpower up, and I have died once. God, I was really hoping to just play the first chapter and go and play Minecraft after this. Because it's like 2 a.m. But God, I love this game so much already. It's only the fucking demos too.